Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. We're back here in the garage finally after a 6-week break with all the coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemonium that's been going on. So we're finally able to come back here. The state where I live, the governor's starting to release some of the restrictions. The state where the car is, same thing. So I was finally able to travel out of my state, come back to where this is. So just going to kind of go over it today and kind of see where we left it off. We were in the middle of working on the headlight assemblies when all the pandemonium kicked in and all the shutdown restrictions, everything happened. So what we're going to be doing now is just kind of going over the vehicle, where we left off, what still needs to happen. We've lost, unfortunately, about 6 weeks, so we need to kind of pick up where that left off. So let's go around. I'll show you where we are, so then hopefully in the upcoming weeks we can get back on schedule and get this thing finished. When I arrived here late last night, first thing I did is I had the battery charging because if it's sitting so long, I don't even know if the car is going to start. We're going to try that soon. But what I did is I have my battery charger connected to it, and this battery charger is pretty cool because it just has the trickle feature, so it won't overcharge it. If you want to see the product review on this battery charger, it's very inexpensive and it's very effective. I've used it on many of my vehicles. You can check it out via the link above. But anyway, so I have it connected now. I'm going to go ahead and detach the charger because it's got a full charge. It ran last night, so the battery's all back to normal. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to start it, see how that works, and then we'll just go around the vehicle and kind of see what's remaining. I'm going to go ahead and try to start this thing because if it's sitting so long. Now I did charge the battery. The battery did lose some power. It was down to 11.5 volts. So went ahead and did a full charge on it all night long. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see if we can get it to start. Hopefully it'll start with no problem. If not, we'll do what we have to do to get it started. Running good. Had a little bit of a hard time starting it there, but I think some of that was also due to the fact that we do have a little vacuum leak that needs to be fixed. But once we got it started, it was running good, idling great. Actually, I was expecting it to have a little more of a problem starting, so happy about that. So that's good. So let's go ahead now and go around the body and see what's left. Coming around here to the front, if you've been following the progress on this project with this Countach replica, where we left off is I had cut out all of the, kind of cleaned out whatever needed to be cut out of here for the headlight, pop-up headlight assemblies. I was supposed to be working on the actual assemblies back in my house, but with all this COVID-19 stuff that happened, I actually kind of deviated from that, and I was working on some other vehicles that I have back in my other place, some projects. So I was getting a lot of stuff caught up that had been neglected since I've been working on this. Now, what I need to do next is I need to get those assemblies built, so that way the next time we're here I can fit them in, we can mount the hinges underneath, get the motors for the pop-up headlights put in, all wired up. That'll take care of that. Then what we'll have to do, as we noticed when we tried to start the car, I believe some of the issues with it starting is the vacuum leak. Need to get that pinpointed and fixed, take care of that. And then after that, really, it's just a matter of light sanding the car down, getting it ready for paint, any minor imperfections that we might have missed, go ahead and getting them fixed. and then we can get this thing all painted, clear coated, and that'll be a huge piece done, and then we'll move on to the suspension. Wrap up the suspension, replace the tires, and this car is done and ready to move on out of here, and then we can move on to our next project. But let me show you some of the stuff I've noticed with the suspension. I'm going to get a close-up for you to see it, but these tires, as we've already pointed out in previous videos, these things are shot, so that's a main thing. They have to be redone. These rims are like crap. They need to be just really grinded down, refinished, resealed, all that stuff. But in here, every time I'm driving it around in here, this tire is slipping all over the place and popping. It looks like the tie rods, probably inner and out, or both are bad. I'm probably going to extract the hubs, maybe replace the hubs, the bearings, shocks and struts, things like that. They seem fine, but I'm still going to check those in the front and back. But definitely the inner and outer tie rods need to go. Looks like the control arm bushings are bad. So there's a lot of stuff as far as that goes that needs to be replaced. So all that's going to be rebuilt. I'm going to replace the brakes. Even though the brake pads are good on both ends and the rotors have surface rust. The brake pads are old. I'm just going to put all new, probably upgrade the rotors to vented rotors as well. So I'll get a close up and see if I can show you what we're dealing with, because a lot of the bushings are just dry rotted and leaking grease and all kinds of stuff. So let me get the camera back there, and then I'll also show you what's going on with the tire, and then I think we'll pretty much come to a conclusion. Just wanted to take this time just to kind of get back focused on this project now that, like I mentioned before, the governors are starting to loosen the noose on some of these restrictions that have been, in my opinion, a little bit overdone, and kind of forcing people to stay put, forcing companies to close and stuff like that. I don't know if I agree with that 100%, but that's a separate topic. But anyway, let me show you what's going on here. Looking in here, you can see there the control arm up there, and see if I can get a close-up shot there for you. But the bushing is pretty much dried out and shot on both ends of it. So probably going to just take that control arm off, replace the bushings, because it looks like the actual arm itself might be fine. If not, we'll replace the whole thing. And then you can see here this bushing, this one here on the tie rod, all leaking right here. It's just in bad shape. So we're going to take a look at the inner tie rod as well, but definitely the outer one. Replace that, get all that fixed, replace those bushings, as I mentioned, with the control arm. And then just in general on here, it's just dirty. It needs to be cleaned out, see what else might need to be replaced, but that's on both sides. Here's the front rotor. You can see that coming down here. Here's the caliper. All dirty in there, but they're going to get ripped out, refinished, get the brakes and rotors taken care of. So that'll be cool. There it is again. Here's the tire, you can see right here, and it's a shame because these tires look like they were new, but just this vehicle wasn't stored properly because it was sitting so long out in the field. All this is all dry rotted. I mean, the rubber, if I were to even attempt to take this anywhere, these things are going to blow out so quick. But you can see all the way around, they're just cracked. Just cracked, bad shape. Then coming down here, you can see all that, just bad. And then here's the rims, all this rust and just really bad shape. So all this is going to be sanded down real good. Then we're going to refinish it, reseal it, and put the new logo back in the middle. Get the new actual tires put on there. That'll look nice. And that's on the front. Back ones aren't too bad, but they're not the right width. Looking here in the back suspension got all these cobwebs from it sitting as long as it did. Oh man. Clean that out. Anyway, so here's what I wanted to show you. You can see that bushing is completely bad. Everything's leaked out of that tie rod there. The control arm here in the back, you can see that all leaked out there. So that needs to be replaced as well. So as with the front, probably going to remove the control arms, replace all the bushings on that. As far as the tie rods, just get rid of them. Definitely the outer ones. Got to look into the inner ones as well. And then go around the rest of the suspension and see what's what. But you can see the rotor here in the back right there. The rotors actually are not scarred up. However, they are
got a lot of surface rust on them. So as mentioned already, I think I'm just going to get rid of them, put some more performance ones on there, and do the brakes while we're at it. Clean up all the suspension, replace whatever needs to be replaced, restore whatever needs to be restored, and that should take care of all of it. Here's the back tires right here, and you can see that the actual rubber on the tire is good. It's not dry rotted or anything like that. However, let's see if I can get it right. There it is. You can see the size is a P295/50/15. It's supposed to be a 345. So need to get a wider tire on here. I mean, the 295 is actually a pretty wide tire, but not for a Lamborghini. It just looks too narrow, and I'll give you a shot of it from the back so you can see that. But just like with the front, you can see these rims also need to be refinished as well. And then the same thing there, we have the center pieces that'll go in there with the Lamborghini logo. You can see here, this is the tire, this is the 295s, and as you can see, they are wide tires, because now this is just a spare tire, but this is a 125, but that shows you how much thicker that is. If you were to even put this up to like a 225, it's a pretty wide tire, but the 345s is going to give you approximately 2 more inches that way, so it'll fill it out nicer the way it's supposed to from the back. Okay, well that pretty much wraps up this video. Just wanted to get back in the garage, get refocused on this project, kind of let everyone out there know where we're at and what's left. Hopefully we can have a uninterrupted schedule here on out, and we can wrap this thing up really in just a few months. It's just a matter of repainting it and just doing some fine tuning to some things, then suspension, and things done. So I hope this video was enjoyable for you. I hope you liked it. Please send me any questions, any comments. I appreciate it. As always, I appreciate all the support, so please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.